Border Fuhrer Tom Homan is being persecuted for once having spoken to lobbyists who turned out to be FBI agents. Homan's freedom of speech / freedom to receive a bag of something is being violated. For sure. Yep. The inquiry into the matter has been halted, as he has suffered enough. The Pentagon will now instruct reporters to report only what they're told to. No more. Less is okay. This is real freedom of the press, said General Thomas G. Orwell. There's one country in the world that stands athwart the rest in regards to peace and justice in Palestine. That would be us. U, followed by S. We wear a snappy vest with a neato veto pocket. The Security Council, you see, is much like the U.S. Senate. It should be abolished. Here at home, if the majority of people support something, let's say randomly ceasefire, while 3% of Congress supports it, which one should we propose to abolish? Many countries are now pushing to stop all aid to Israel, including trade. By the time they get done not aiding Israel and move to thwarting it, the West Bank will be gone. But at least and at last we'll have two states, Israel and the U.S. These two, known to many of me as Is America and to others as Amariz, share two important values: taking other people's land and lying about it. Corporations pursuing mergers have a tendency to pay off the government to get approval. Governments that are cruel, vindictive, and authoritarian have a tendency to destroy their opposition. Public figures who defend satire as important and sacrosanct have a tendency to reverse their position when they become the chair of the FCC under a Führer who needs their support to make America obedient again.
When you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
The culprit in the now canceled cancellation of this second opposition comedian is not just Walt Disney, who is not at all dead but continues his reactionary rule, but also the Sinclair group of stations, already notorious for destroying local outlets' autonomy and ability to warn locals of storms, and Nexstar, another media oligarch with a pending merger. If you want to defend pro-democracy media, it's simple. Boycott capitalism. Too soon? Too late? Next time Warner Brothers want to merge with Moore Brothers or be bought by Larry Ellison, look for HBO to cancel John Oliver. And likewise with NBC, owned by Comcast, which, if they don't try to merge with a bigger brother, may be allowed by the reigning big brother to continue broadcasting The Seth Meyers Show. Don't blank. Also, Paramount, which owns CBS, may buy Warner Brothers, which owns CNN. So much for Roy Wood Jr. These actions by the terrorist organization that goes by the moniker of U.S. government call for a disclaimer. Trump is not Hitler. Trump and Netanyahu together? Getting close. I don't know if President Joe Don McCarthy-Trump is America's Hitler just because JD said so.
In fact, Senator Vance once called himself a never Trump guy, saying on NPR, quote, "I can't stomach Trump," and once comparing him to Hitler. In now deleted tweets, he's called Trump an idiot, noxious, and reprehensible.
Of course, JD took it back after he got more data, namely that he could be vice president under Hitler or whatever. Well, people do change their tune when they get a whiff of personal gain. Check it out further, but I think that's a core American value. And in other countries, which, while not being worthless, are worth less than America, according to U.S. law. Antifa has been declared a terrorist organization by the nation's head terrorist. Expect the same soon from the Sierra Club and the League of Women Voters. Okay, more likely Black Lives Matter. However, a study by the governmental National Institute of Justice shows that most violent attacks have come from the far right. The study can be found on their website at... No, it's gone. Huh. The Lion King has moved on the truth like a bitch, whatever that means. In this case, it's the national parks that must bend history to match President Too Much Talk About Slavery's deeply felt white supremacist needs. He has removed the infamous slavery-era portrait Scourged Back, a sign criticizing lost cause ideology, an exhibit about George Washington's enslaved servants, and booklets discussing Robert E. Lee's connection to slavery. The message is, don't harp and grouse about slavery. Lee did some good things, too. Or anyway, he did bad things very well. Several parks will remove notices that their land once belonged to, well, people who lived there. The signs don't mention that those people now have casinos. You're welcome. So slavery was racist. Or maybe not. Leave that to the recently fired experts. Ignorance isn't just bliss, it's fascism. In a nation in which none of this ever happened, we can confidently state that slavery freed the Africans to be what they are today, a segregated populace holding a whopping 15% of the median wealth of white households.